Your bad credit isn't going away in 7 years. Let me explain why. Yeah, I know, you've been told your negative credit items just disappear after 7 years, but that's a lie, unfortunately. And this lie could be costing you tens of thousands of dollars, higher interest rates, and even job opportunities. Today, I'm exposing the truth about the so-called 7-year rule and why it's one of the most misunderstood parts of the credit system. And trust me, by the end of the video, you're going to know how to use this knowledge to protect yourself and, of course, most importantly, your wallet. I want you to understand credit isn't just a score, it's your financial reputation. And if you think negative items magically disappear after 7 years, like pretty much everyone does, you might be making decisions now that haunt you for decades. This isn't fear-mongering, it's all facts. I want to be really clear about that. So let's break this down, starting with what the 7-year rule really says. Now let's be very clear. The FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, says most negative items should be removed after 7 years from the first date of delinquency. Now hear that again, should be, but of course, certain items don't follow that clock, like bankruptcies. Some of those are up to 10 years. Unpaid tax liens. Now we don't see these on credit reports as much anymore, but I have seen them on there. Or my favorite, items that get re-aged by collectors, which is very common, more than people actually expect. And here's the even crazier part that nobody ever talks about. Lenders can still see old items internally even after they vanish from your credit report. Because remember, everyone always talks about the big three credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They all seem to think that there are only 3 credit reporting agencies, when in fact, there are 12 credit reporting agencies that are storing and housing all of your data. That's the crazy part. And this is why credit repair fails, to be honest with you, with a lot of people, because they don't go after that. Everyone's stuck in the old mindset like, oh, just freeze it and it'll be just fine. They can't do anything. Like, no, it's some of the most outdated information out there. Quick check. Drop the word truth in the comments if you want lenders to stop playing games with your credit. I'll be replying to as many as I can. Now, there's something called the Reaging Trap that nobody ever talks about. Now, debt collectors sometimes illegally change the delinquency date to keep it on your credit report longer. Now, remember, we're looking at the date of delinquency, the first date of delinquency, not the first date of activity. That is a huge confusion out there that people say they changed the first date of activity or the date of activity. Now it's re-aged. No. The date of activity means absolutely nothing. It means, well, it does mean something. And what it means is something on your credit report item has changed or it's been updated. Whatever it may be, that is not the date that determines when it's deleted from your credit report. And debt collectors are infamous for this next one. They try to get you to make a small payment because that resets the debt clock. It could have been on your credit report for 6 years and about to hit that 7th year, and then you made that small payment because a hoe-ass debt collector convinced you to, and now they reset the debt clock, and they can actually come after you and sue you now, and now it's on your credit report for another 7 years. Let me give you a good example. If you ignore a $500 debt from 2015, and then in 2023, you pay $15 towards it, boom, now it's back on for another full 7 years. I know that's crazy, but that's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. And this doesn't just apply to debt collectors, it applies to the original creditor also, because some people will go back and make that payment and say, you know what, I'm just gonna pay it off. But then the original creditor doesn't delete it, and now it's on your credit report for another 7 years. So be aware, if you ever negotiate for any type of payment, they must delete it from your credit report. If they don't delete it, it's still hurting your credit and you just reset the debt clock for another 7 years. This is the reason why I say never ever pay a hoe-ass debt collector, because unless you get it in writing that they're going to delete it, it's not going to help your credit report or your credit score in any way, shape, or form. But the next part is where people really get blindsided, because these are the items that stick around past 7 years. Bankruptcies are up to 10 years. Student loans in default, potentially indefinite until paid. Yes, you heard me. I'm gonna say it again, okay? Because a lot of people don't understand this about student loans. Student loans in default, potentially indefinite until paid. Yes, this is why it's important to get them caught up. People are like, oh, they'll just eventually fall off. No, student loans do not. And of course, unpaid federal tax liens. There's no limit until they are satisfied. Another big one that people ask me about is child support arrears. It depends on state law and often not bound by the 7-year rule. There are a lot of things about child support that people don't understand. It is one of the most difficult things to get off credit reports. Actually, it's not as difficult. Let me rephrase that. Because you can delete it from the credit report, but if you are in arrears, they will slap it right back on the credit report. They don't play. And the same rules don't apply for child support like they do everything else on your credit report, which is crazy. And people always say, but why does this matter? Because if you think the slate is clean, but lenders still see internal records, you might still be denied for loans or any type of lending. Now, if you're shocked that some debts basically never expire, make sure to comment forever, because that's how long some hoe-ass debt collectors act like they can chase you down. Now I'm gonna show you how to protect yourself. You want to pull all 3 credit reports. See, I almost got you. We want to pull all 12 credit reports from Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, LexisNexis, LCI, Innovis, ARS, Credco, Clarity, DataX, Microbilt, and Factor Trust. Once you get your credit reports, and you can get some of those for free at annualcreditreport.com. Okay, it's once a week you can get those credit reports for free. You want to track down the date of first delinquency for every negative item. This is the biggest part that everyone misses because they're focused on the date of activity or date of last activity. However, because some credit reports, depending on the credit monitoring, will show them different words. I don't know why, but they do. But remember, date of activity is not what date of first delinquency is. Completely different things, and date of first delinquency is the only thing that matters. Now, once you find that first date of delinquency, you want to dispute any re-aged accounts that are illegal under the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Now, the next step is keep documentation of every payment or any type of settlement, because I'm telling you right now, a great example is if you decided to settle a debt that was like $500 and they're like, well, you know, we'll take $200. They can sell that remaining debt to another debt collector and say, oh, I'm sorry, it was never settled. We sold the remaining amount because you didn't pay it in full. This happens so much, it's not even funny. It should be illegal, but they find a loophole as they always do. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Luis. Luis's credit score went up 261 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. And Jency's credit score went up 225 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget James. James's credit score went up 207 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast's link is going to be in the video description and pinned at the top of the comments for anyone that needs to fix their credit. Now, my 5th and final step here is to consider professional dispute service for stubborn items. A lot of times, amateurs and people that are trying to fix their credit on their own will continuously send the same letter over and over and over again, and they can deem that as a frivolous dispute. Systems like DisputeBeast will never send a duplicate dispute because it understands that we don't want to be marked as a frivolous dispute, because now they have the opportunity to say, we don't have to respond to anything anymore. And then the next question is, why lenders still judge you after those 7 years? Well, because internal databases, lenders keep their own history. They want to track everything about you. They don't want to miss a single cent that you may possibly owe. Now, LexisNexis and ChexSystems track beyond credit bureaus. Understand that. Insurance and employment background checks can pull older data also. So it'll pull all of that information from where? Those other 9 credit reporting agencies that we talked about. And here's the part that no one tells you. This can affect your job offers because there is a serious employment and insurance impact. For car insurance, life insurance, for every type of insurance, even boating insurance, they check your credit score and all of your financial data. Employers in sensitive fields may see bankruptcies or judgments beyond 7 years. It's pretty crazy, to be honest with you. All those people with high-level government clearances, they're going deep into their files. Higher insurance premiums based on past credit data. What we just talked about. These insurance companies are using it against consumers more than ever. And honestly, some landlords subscribe to extended background databases because they want to know who is going to be in their homes. Last part's the most important. So let's wrap this up with my final message. The 7-year rule isn't a magic eraser. It's more of a guideline with a ton of fine print that a lot of people never talk about. The real trick is knowing your rights and catching shady tactics before they ruin you for another decade. Because yes, it could be another decade. And people never talk about how sometimes these items that are actually aged farther than they're supposed to be sometimes become harder to delete. And make sure to smash that like button if you learned something today, and share this video with a friend who thinks their bad credit is about to fall off, because trust me, they need this info as much as you do. Now, if you want to learn how to delete negative items before the 7-year mark, like collections, charge-offs, late payments, any negative account, make sure to watch this video right here, because it's gonna blow your mind and show you how AI can do all the work for you. Send the letters, and it comes with a 110% money back guarantee. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.